Hey guys, so this week in your extension part was to review geology. So I said I wanted you guys to review the hand signals. So here's my video to remind you what our hand signals were for the geology unit. So we had six hand signals. Couldn't figure out my fingers there. So I'm going to review all six of them. So we had sedimentary rocks. Remember, we started down here and we put pressure. So we said sedimentary rock compacting and cementing. Remember, sedimentary rock are layers of sediment, which are little pieces of rock that are weathered and eroded from bigger pieces, and then they come and land, and then they compact, right? They push and compact into layers over time. So our oldest layers are down here. The layers that we're walking up towards the top are going to be our brand new layers. Our second one was igneous. Remember, that is magma. So rock that's been melted to liquid magma, which is inside the earth. And lava is, remember, outside the earth. And so we said igneous rock, remember our volcano, igneous rock, melting, and then cooling. Remember, it's cooling. So we have things, remember that shiny obsidian that we looked at, or sometimes if that igneous rock actually goes into water, it creates all these air bubbles. So pumice, remember, kind of looks like a loofah or like a sponge. Our third one was metamorphic rock. So that's, remember, we take metamorphic rock, igneous rock, or sedimentary rock, and we add heat and pressure. Remember, we did our chocolate chip cookies. So I make my dough. Remember, I mix my parts of the dough together, and then I add pressure to make it into my little cookie dough balls. I put it in the oven. That's my heat, and I get cookies back. Remember, we said cookie dough and cookies aren't the same thing, but they are still made of the same thing, which is what metamorphic rock is. So when we said metamorphic rock, heat and pressure. Remember, when you rub your hands, you can feel the heat, and then we're adding that pressure. So we're going to review those one more time, and then I'll go into the other three. Sedimentary rock, compacting and cementing. Igneous rock, melting and cooling. Metamorphic rock, heat and pressure. And then remember, we had our three different types of fault lines. So we had transform. Remember, we went like this. They're sliding back and forth. We also had our, hold on, Miss Trost has lost her train of thought. And sorry. So our transform boundaries, where they're sliding past each other. And that's where we're going to find things like earthquakes. Remember, we talked about the biggest one in the United States is called the San Andreas Fault, and that's in California. And then we had divergent, so separating divergent. So remember, we went like this because our plates are literally being pulled apart. And remember, we talked about in the Atlantic Ocean, we had the mid-ocean ridge that goes all the way up from like almost where the North Pole is, through the Atlantic Ocean, down through almost to the Antarctica. And so we looked at those pictures of Iceland, where remember we could actually see, because the fault goes right through, right? That divergent boundary goes right through, and we can actually see where Iceland was literally being pulled apart. So we had sliding, transform, separating, divergent, and then convergent. Remember, our word was colliding, but we had lots of hand signals for this one. We had like three different hand signals. So we had colliding. Remember our plates come up, and these are when we have continental plates hitting continental. So they get pushed up, and that's how we get mountains. So we had colliding, and then we had convergent. So this is, remember, when we have oceanic hitting oceanic crust, and they actually get pushed down, and that's where we get those really deep trenches in the ocean, like the Mariana Trench. So we have colliding. we had three of these, and then we had convergent. So this is where oceanic and continental are meeting. So one gets pushed down and one gets pushed up. And that's where we have a lot of volcanoes. So we had colliding, convergent. So let's review all of those. So we had sliding, transform, separating, divergent, colliding, convergent. So go ahead and practice all 6 of those. I want you to do it every day to help refresh your memory about what those are, because those are very important. All right, see you guys.